Good evening. This is the City of Athens Shade Tree Commission meeting for December 8th, 2011. I don't think we've got any tree permit issues or landscape ordinance issues unless, Ron, you've got any to bring to us. If not, we're going to go straight to your report, please.
I don't have anything right now for
Okay.
the tree permit.
So would you like to give us an update on the fall planting? And
I would. Yeah, we have a revised quote from Mason Chambers, and I actually told him to go. So we're under contract with Mr. Chambers to conduct the fall planting. We made some revisions to the original set that we looked at earlier this year, particularly 34 and 38 South Shannon. When we looked at it, we felt adding more trees to 34 would be, actually it was 50 South Shannon, would be too busy, so we bumped 2 down to 34.
okay,
So we'll
but
plant 2
we're still
down
on
there.
South Shannon
Yeah,
because
yeah,
that's a street that really needs some.
Yeah, that was one change. The Village Bakery tree, we're going to take the one out that died, and we're going to plant one in front of it on East State Street. There's a good planting site just to the left of Village Bakery if you're looking at it. Mason said he's going to have to do some soil amendments there, but that it should be a good site. Sunnyside, we're going to plant 12 American elms on the side opposite the power line. It's going right over the tree lawn. So we plan on that side. I'd like to plant something a little smaller. But he's given us a good price, beating the price that Stock, what was the name of it? Stock something trees. He's doing $75 installed. So that's pretty good price on those trees. And then the tree for Nancy Bain and Bill Bias, what we're going to do is we're going to plant a grove of trees near the Habitat for Humanity house on West Union, and that grove will be expandable. We have a significant amount of right-of-way there, and what we're going to do is we're going to start with a couple bald cypress trees, and we'll get those planted this year, and then we're going to plant 3 Yoshino cherries in the middle, and eventually that will grow as more council folks retire and want to have a tree in their name at that site. And we can do it any way we want. We have so much right away there. So that's what we're going to start it with 5 trees, and probably when it's all said and done, we'll have an area to sit down and just relax off the bike path, and also have some kind of rock plaque that will be expandable to include all the people that are having trees dedicated to their memory.
Could I ask what prompted the choice of bald cypress?
The original plan was to plant Yoshino cherries, and I felt that we needed to have more to accentuate the site, bring attention to it all year, instead of just, because to me the Yoshino cherries are kind of plain after the bloom, and the bald cypress isn't, and it's a good site for that tree.
It's kind of wet, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's what prompted it.
That's a good. I just wonder what the idea was. The bald cypress, it's, I hadn't realized until just recently how stunning it can be in the fall.
Yeah.
It can be really attractive. And in the spring, that very soft new leaves are wonderful. But in the dead of winter, it would be nice to have green, but, you know.
Well, I looked at planting a couple spruce trees there eventually, but looking at the spruce trees that are there now, they're not doing very well. So I kind of stepped back from that, thinking that might be a mistake. So.
Well, you know, the bald cypress handles wet areas very
exactly.
well. So.
And there's standing water there
Yeah.
in that site. So
They might even
maybe we can do some, there are other cypress trees as well, and we talked about this, we being Mason and I. There's some that when the fall comes they turn yellow, and there's some that turn orange, so we might start mixing some things in.
Cool.
Just to try to get some year-round color there.
Ron, what kind of elms is it that you're planting?
American.
Specific?
Yeah, which variety?
I don't know. I can find out from Mason.
Because I
Mason's
think
using
most
what
of them
resistance?
are susceptible to the Dutch elm disease.
Isn't this the Princeton elm?
From talking to Mason, he said this particular one was resistant to it.
Okay,
But I don't know the scientific
Okay.
name.
I know he's been using Princeton elm at times, and that's mostly resistant. I
That
mean,
may
not
be what it was,
100%.
David, but I'll have to find out for you.
okay.
And there's one on the Frontier, I think, is being used as well.
And Valley Forge, I think, is another.
Yeah.
We are going to plant another American elm at 96 Morris. And then the other change is let me make sure I have this right. Is it Quercus robur fatigiata that we can't get? Yes, we can't get those. So Mason's looking into an alternate. And these would be the ones that would be placed on Court Street at Chase Bank and at West Washington in front of the sheriff's office. So I told him to find us something similar that's a good resistant tree that'll grow.
Yeah, but
And then in front of City Hall, we're going to put 2 American lindens, Little Leaf lindens.
Oh, nice.
that English oak is actually a fastigiate one, is a really good one if you can. And so if that's something that we really want for a site, we may want to make sure we order it a long way in advance to
For
get
some reason, I'm thinking he said willow oaks would be the replacement.
Willow,
Well, these for Court Street, the
Those are
fastigiate,
very large trees
yeah.
eventually.
Yeah,
Maybe
I mean,
mistaken on that.
The reason for choosing the fastigiate English oak is that the form would really fit well, I think, with that.
There's a fastigiate form of the
Well, then
pin
if we
oak.
can hold them off and see when they'll be available, I can do that if we really want that tree.
Well, the willow oak doesn't sound like a suitable tree for that sort of site.
I
would
could be
think so.
mistaken. I thought that's what he said, but I could be mistaken on that. I didn't write it down.
is that a good city tree? Is that good? Does it hold up with salt and everything?
The willow oak,
You know,
I don't know about salt.
I am mistaken. I am mistaken.
Okay.
It's the West Washington tree, the Robinia pseudoacacia frisia that he can't get. Sunburst, and we talked about putting an upright English oak there at West Washington.
Okay.
But we have to go in as a city and tear the stump out that's there. Mason doesn't have the equipment to do it. So we'll probably end up tearing up the sidewalk a little bit there.
Yeah.
Because it's a big stump. And I don't know any other way to get it out other than a backhoe.
And what were you suggesting as a replacement? For
The oak that you just said.
Oh, the English oak.
Yeah, the English oak.
Oh, okay.
In front of the city building?
West,
No, in front of the city building will be little leaf lindens.
Okay, oh, good.
Okay, where would the willow oak go?
Nowhere.
No,
That was my
okay,
mistake. Yeah.
Some other city.
there's 2 in front of Ellie Barstow's house.
Other than that, we're pretty spot on. I can give you a copy, I can provide you a copy with this. When it's all said and done, the grand total is $6,550.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get a copy in the minutes, so we... Sure.
The willow oak it really is a nice tree. I just don't know what spots it does really well in.
Some trees may not be planted until spring either, so, but Mason does a pretty good job of keeping me in the loop on that, so.
Mason mentioned to me that if we could get our tree list in a little earlier, it might be easier for him to get all of the trees that we wanted before the ground froze.
I can do that.
Well, the ground's certainly not frozen now.
No, but I think last year he couldn't plant everything because,
Well, one of the things that's difficult with that is trying to figure out how much money we're going to have.
okay.
Right.
And it's worked out well since I've been involved with this, of doing the planting in December, and then in the spring, what we don't get planted, so.
And we had a cold December last year.
We did.
It was
Yes.
unusual.
We did. But this year, we have quite a bit of money. We had actually written a purchase order for $7,000, so we had some extra.
Yeah, good year. A good tree
Actually,
year.
when it's all said and done, we're planting along with these trees and with the trees we planted on West State Street, the bike path, over 70 trees this year. And we removed about 50. So.
Is that a record for us?
No, I think we with the Bicentennial Park last year with all the
Really?
donations, I think that might have been the record. We got to do some more down there as well. A couple more trees.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That must be exceeding removals.
I try not to remove too much.
Well, of course, there's also the trees that AEP removed, but,
It would be nice.
I did not count those
no,
in
I
there.
don't blame you, no. But, we should have some count somewhere to kind
I
of,
could probably get that.
Yeah,
yeah,
that
but,
would be helpful.
if AEP gives us if there's some funding from them, then we might be able
Plant
to
trees.
replace those.
That's really all I had about the fall planning. The Tree City USA application is done and submitted.
Excellent.
We ended up spending about $2.43 per person this year, and we average it goes between $2.30 and $2.60 some cents per person each year is what we end up. You have to spend at least $2 per capita
Oh,
in order to.
and what number
keep the
do we
Tree City.
use for the city, the population?
23, the latest census number, 23,100 and something.
Does that count students?
No.
Well, yeah, well,
Some.
you never know with the census number. The rate of return was about 65% in the city of Athens. So it really wasn't that high overall.
It includes a lot of students.
It includes a lot of
Okay.
students.
23,000
So
They try really hard to count as many as they can
for the census.
for, yeah.
So anything else?
Nope.
Okay, thank you. I don't have anything on the emerald ash borer. We do have a minor change to propose to our current policies and procedures. I've handed around copies of this. It is in regard to who the city should be using for work, and it will be changed so that currently it just reads maintenance of city trees is performed by city crews or by a contracted tree service company. We're going to add contracted tree services companies are expected to be ISA certified and or have demonstrated that they have pruned trees to ANSI standard A300. This will give Ron a little bit more flexibility than if we just require ISA certification of the people. And this is really reflecting what our experience with AEP, that we found it was too difficult to require them to have an ISA certified arborist on site when the trees are being pruned, but they were willing to prune to that ANSI standard, which is an acceptable standard to be pruning to. So that's a recommended change. I'm not sure how we want to handle this. We could sit and think on it and bring it back at the next meeting and just vote on it then. I think I would recommend that as the procedure to follow, because I know several of you haven't seen this until tonight. So if that's agreeable to everyone, we'll bring it back for a vote, if you like, at the next meeting. A policy that I think we should try and work on is one to define the type of tree and how it should be planted when we have people who are trying to fulfill the requirements of Title 37, the landscape ordinance, by planting trees in the right of way. I think we need to put in our policies that those trees need to be planted to a certain specification. And so in this email that I circulated around, I've suggested that we have a minimum diameter at breast height of 1.5 inches. The trees should be clear of branches to at least 6 feet, and perhaps higher if it's adjacent to a sidewalk. Sometimes you're dealing with a fairly deep green space that these people are planting the trees in. That is less of a concern, but I think when they're close to a sidewalk, we need to have at least 6 foot of clearance, and we may want 8 feet. 8 feet is the normal standard
I
that
recommend 8
Ron.
feet.
Yeah. We also thought, and this is going to require discussion, some detail as to how the hole should be dug for the tree or prepared, and the type of mulching that should be done around it. One recommendation was that we should specify the hole should be dug with a fork and not a spade, and that it should be just deep enough to keep the soil line at or just below that when the tree was moved from its nursery. Now that's probably not the best wording, but the intent is to try and make sure that they don't dig a deep hole and bury the
Yes.
tree.
But the soil line should not be below.
Yes, yeah, that's what I tried to say, and as I was reading it, I think I got it wrong.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, no, it should be slightly
slightly above.
above. Yes.
But not significantly above.
No. But do we need something in there about the flare?
No,
Good
the
idea.
soil should not cover the...
Yeah.
Good idea.
Because sometimes now trees are coming boulder burlapped or in pots where the soil is actually too high around the tree.
Okay. So that's an outline. Again, I don't think we should try and vote on anything like this tonight or try and get the wording straight, but I wanted to get the other tree commissioners thinking about this topic, and then we'll come forward with a document that hopefully when somebody is in the position of trying to use the right of way as a way to fulfil their requirements, we can get them to plant to a given standard, because we've had some trees planted that are really too small for the right of way.
Yes. Not,
I
can't
don't mind
survive.
people planting those things on their own property, but when it's away from the right of way. But I think adjacent to the right of way, we need some better standards for that. So we'll obviously discuss that one a little bit more at the next meeting. Are there other policies that people can think of that they feel we should be working on? But policies are simply things to try and inform us and others what it is we'd like to have done. They don't always get carried out perfectly. They're not going to have the weight of a city ordinance, and they're not intended to be that. It's more a case of us documenting what we think should be done, and to give people like Ron some guidance, and also the code office. Okay, well, if there's nothing else, are there any other issues that commissioners would like to raise? Well, I think we had a comment earlier about AEP and the pruning. I think we would like to note that the pruning has been done to quite a good standard. That's right. Certainly the removals of stumps and so on, or the cutting down to a bit more reasonable height, has also improved the appearance of some of the areas as well.
One or two trees that AEP perhaps ought to remove that have been repeatedly so heavily pruned, even though it was done correctly this time. The ones across from, the video, Premier Video,
On East State
particular
Street.
area, those trees are a nervous proposition and very unhappy looking.
There are a couple just past me on the beginning of Stroud's Run, box elders, that are really just in terrible condition.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
they were
they
in
are.
bad condition before they were pruned, but
Actually, one of those is at 11 Stroud's Run, and that's in the city right away, and I'm going to have one of those removed. But there are a couple others that might be. I think that there is one that has an extensive amount of power lines in it.
yeah, I think it's 2 Stroud's Run.
Yep.
And obviously where the power lines are there, we'd like AEP to do the removal if
Sure.
we can get them to do it. Okay, are there any other matters?
Back to your email,
yes.
I have a suggestion for the mulch.
Yep.
suggesting the mulch as a donut and not a volcano.
Yes. Yeah.
And what, not more than 2 inches deep, or
Uh,
or what are we saying? Because the depth is also...
2 to 3 inches.
Right.
Okay. Good. Anything else? If not, can we proceed to consider the minutes of the last meeting and see what we think of those? So can we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I move that the minutes be approved.
I second it.
Thank you. Are there any objections to approving the minutes? Hearing none, they are approved. And there was one other item that I forgot to mention when we were doing the other. We had a party go out to clear vines off trees along the bike path. While doing it, we spotted some potential sites for more trees to go in, and so when we think about a tree bank, that's an area where trees could be put. And we also realised that if fraternity or sorority wanted a service project, this would be an excellent service project, particularly with the semester scheme of things, where November is a very good time to try and do this sort of work. This could be a way to give somebody a service project. So,
Some trees.
is there anything else? Let us adjourn the meeting then. Thank you.